para ihayag ang pinakahuling kalagayan ng COVID-19 crisis sa bansa at ang mga hakbang na ginagawa ng pamahalaan laban sa pandemya. Mula sa Pangulo ng Republika ng Pilipinas, Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Ito ang Talk to the People on COVID-19.
Good evening sa lahat ng Pilipino. Kasi celebrate lang natin ng New Year and there's another 365 days to look beyond our worries now and to seek the relief. Alam mo, itong pandemic has turned into another has made another dangerous turn. May bagong strain. Ang tawag niya na I think is mutation, nag-mutate. Nagbago sila. Nakakuha ata ng depensa ang mga microbes na to. Ang itong bagong strain ngayon is they say more dangerous. It can cause a rapid mutations, another mutations, at naghabol ang lahat ng mankind is in the bind looking for the new vaccine of the new strain. Kaya ho, hanggang ngayon delikado pa talaga at ang ating vaccines will not be available until May. May ho.
Sir, meron po tayo na March at April meron na po tayo.
March. So, I will not talk about, because I really do not know about this. Itong vaccine sa PSG, to me, it's a matter of self-preservation. Yan lang. Whatever be your objection, whatever be your criticism, para sa akin, it is a matter of preservation. And I would like to call on Congress na hindi naman ako nagkikiusap. Ang ano ko lang, diretso na salita na do not tinker with the PSG. I'm telling you, as President, is a matter of self-preservation. So hanggang dyan na lang ako, I will not elaborate on it. But do not force my hand to meddle into this appear because maybe I'm not so keen about allowing Durante and the rest of the PSG to testify. Ginawa ito nila, as I understand, para sa kapakanan ng buhay nila. So, if they will be called, they will be called to testify in Congress. As a lawyer, I will just tell them, because they are now being accused and with the accompanying statement of prosecution and things like that. And if that is the case, then I would ask the PSG to just shut up. Do not answer. Invoke the right against self-incrimination. At wala kayong makukuha. And do not force my soldiers to testify against their will. At huwag ninyong contempt na i-detain ninyo. I do not think it will be good for you and for me. It would not be healthy for everybody. Just so, sa kanila yan eh. So kung tingin nila na ikakabuti sa buhay nila, hayaan mo. And do not threaten them with prosecution and things like that. They have every right to live and to invoke self-preservation. Kumbaga sa criminal law yan, that is the right to self-defense. The enemy, COVID. Alam mo, ganito yan. Lahat na matamaan ng COVID, talagang possibility na may mamatay ka nandyan. So if you do not want to go out there and mix with the people because that is your job, kawawa namang sundalo, and they cannot also be near me because of the social distancing. So there has to be a solution for this. Ako yung presidente, I hate to say this, pero kailangan ako ng security na close-in. Puro sundalo yan. Pati yung mga babae sundalo. O how do you now propose that they can guard me and my life kung social distancing per metro? Kayo na mag-intindi dyan. And I said, wala akong tinanong kay Durante, wala lahat. And if it's on their own volition that they... Sabi ko sa kanila, tanongin mo sa iyo, wala. Istorya lang yan. And if they ask you questions, sabihin ko talaga sa kanila, do not answer. And maybe even I would not allow them to appear in Congress. Magkakaroon tayo ng dito, not really a crisis, but there will be a nasty thing that will transpire. Alam mo, wala pang bakuna. Pag tinamaan ka ngayon, there is a possibility that you will die. Yan nga. And when I go out, itong mga security, they mixed with the crowd. You know? Nakikihalo yan sila. Guarding me. Of course, ako hindi ko kailangan kung ako. But that is the law. Ayaw ko nga silang gusto kong lumabas. Pinipigilan nila ako. Sabi ko, you are dictating the the events of my life. Ito sabi nila, sir, huwag kang magalit. Ang trabaho namin hindi galing sa iyo. It's by law. At tinitignan namin yung batas, hindi ikaw. Ang batas nagsabi lang to protect so that you will live, you'll be alive. Now, how can I survive if wala akong close in to guard me and the people that would mix in the crowd to guard, to prevent untoward incidents. Yan ang problema dyan. They are caught in a bind. Mabuti kayo kasi opisina, di kotse kayo, aircon, may mask kayo and everything, and you're even divided with the glass para hindi kayo magkahawaan. Oh, how can they do that if they have to guard me? Hindi naman ako magpipigil because there are things, kaya nang punta ako ng hulo, magpunta ako ng kampo, may puntahan ako na ganito. Anything that affects the country, the republic. Since March, wala tayong vaccine. So since March until now, we are in danger of getting the COVID-19. And when you get the COVID-19, be you a soldier, civilian, nandiyan ka sa garbage collector, or minister ka ng relihiyon ninyo, walang protection except that you have to wear the mask. But the mask that I cannot talk also if the thing is covering my mouth. I cannot seem to express what I want to say in my heart. Since March until now, walang vaccine. The earliest is March. So kung March, that is 1 year. All the time, the lives of the people are in jeopardy of danger of getting the COVID. So, anong magawa mo kung Pilipino ka? No, if you are I'm not saying that they got the vaccine or not. That is their worry. Because they can always say, well, I did not have it. I refuse to. Pero sila, because sa trabaho nila, kailangan talaga hindi sila makalapit sa akin. So, close and security ko, wala. No, kung yan ang sitwasyon nila, I would not be surprised. I'm not saying that they had it, but I will not be surprised kung talagang nagpa-injection sila. But since there are a lot of speculations and threats about prosecution and investigation, kung sana tinanong lang ninyo ng anong mabuti, without necessarily blurting out threat about I'll have them investigated. Ganun ang Congress eh. Pag may mangyayari yan, investigahin natin yan. Tapos may mangyari dito, let's investigate this. Ganun na lang palagi. Total sila lang naman. Wala naman kayong alam kung iba. Let them be. And let them suffer kung mayroong adverse effect yung vaccine. I don't know really if they were injected with the vaccine, what brand, hindi ko alam. Hindi ko talaga. Huwag kayong do not presume na sabi, kino-cover up. Putang ina kayo. Hindi ako gago na maglaro ng ito. If I say that I will allow them, I will allow them. But I did not because they had it on their own. Pero kung gusto kong sabihin na for emergency purposes, you give the vaccine. Wala nang istorya yan. Wala akong i-cover-cover. Hindi ako tarantado kagaya ninyo. Yung utak ninyo mahina eh. I can order. So what would stop me by saying, sige, pa-injection kayo lahat? All the armed forces. Lahat, alam mo sila, they have to mix. They have to go to the mountain. They have to fight. You just don't know the life of a soldier. Ako, kasi matagal ako sa executive, I had always had security beside me. Noon pa, matagal na, for 23 years. Another 5 years. All that, alam ko ang buhay ng security. So, wag mo silang pakialaman because two things may happen. I will ask them to shut up and not to answer any question. And I'm not threatening. Please do not cite them in contempt by detaining them. I will not allow it. Pupunta ako dyan sa Congress, kukunin ko sila. Masyado kayong yan. Pag ginawa ninyo yan, there will be a little crisis. Nasa inyo, ako, I am prepared. I am prepared to defend my soldier. I will not allow them, for all of their good intentions, to be brutalized in hearing tapos kung ano-ano. Kaya, yan isa. The other one is I might just decide to not allow them to ignore your summons. So, mamili kayo dyan. It's bad for you? Sorry, I don't care. It is bad for the country? Maybe. Pagkain basta sabi ko, huwag kayong pumunta doon. Why do you threaten a person with investigation just because he had something to protect himself? For after all, until now, it is March to March. March is the earliest. In the meantime, they have so many things for themselves. They have to mix, and for their job, they have to surround me. And how can they perform that duty when they are in danger of getting the COVID? Pati ako mahawa nila. See? So, pinoprotektahan nila ako. Hindi naman ako papayag, nagpoprotektar sila sa akin na ipakulong ninyo. Pakialam na. Hayaan mo silang mamatay kung merong masama na epekto yung I don't know what kind of vaccine, but I don't care. Bahala sila. Buhay nila yun. But kung sabihin ng mga iba protecting because why would not I wait for Domingo to come out? You know why? Hanggang ngayon, at this late day, Pfizer lang ang nag-submit sa FDA. Alam ba ninyo yan? Nakakandahirap na ito si General Galvez looking for one, and he has found a light at the end of the tunnel, and he says that the earliest is March. So we started the lockdown March. Magma-March na lang bago pa tayo In the meantime, the lives of these people, the lives of my soldiers are placed on jeopardy because walang choice. Trabaho nila yan. If the intelligence people would say, go to the crowd and mix with them, and maybe look for any hostile attitude or hostile act. Ang akin naman nakapalibot, babae at lalaki, hindi naman makalapit sa akin kasi, sir, social distancing. Oh, how can they protect me if the social distancing? So that is the rule. Well, I'm sorry to say you, there is always an exception. You can say all the rules in this world and there will always be an exception. Kagaya ninyo, hindi kayo maaresto while in session. Kaya huwag mong pilitin na magkaroon tayo ng rokos dito. Anyway, specific ang grupo eh. PSG lang. Hindi naman lahat civilian. And ang PSG has a good reason to have it. One is, kailangan talaga nila sumidsid doon sa mga tao. Mix with the crowd. And every time na nagharap ako, there are about 20 intelligence guys there in front of me, mixing as if they're also part of the kaya ganon. Maybe, magkahiyaan tayo. I said it's bad for the country. Maybe. And it is bad for the country and you entertain the idea of maybe getting it. Maybe. And if you, sabi ko, huwag niyo i-contempt. Talagang, should they appear in Congress, be careful about threatening a guy, forcing him to answer. Because the answer would really be something like this. You know, Mr. Congressman, I refuse to answer your question because it might tend to incriminate me. I will translate it sa bugoy. Hindi kita sagutin kasi mapupukulong ako. Tindihan mo. And when you invoke a constitutional right, no adverse implication can be attached to the statement. Hindi ka magsabi. Kung hindi ka magsabi, silence means consent. No, that is not applicable. When a person invokes a constitutional right, whatever it is, that right should be respected and no bad inference. Hindi ka makasabi, ito, ganito, bakit? Kasi complete by itself, it is a sacred one for a citizen of this republic. Ito mga sundalo, ito Pilipino to. You force the issue? Well, I'm sorry. Magkagulo kasi ipahuli ninyo. Putang, hulihin ko yung inutusan ninyo maghuli. Kaya protecting what is the foremost narrative here? Self-preservation, ano ka man. Hanggang ngayon wala pang bakuna. So kung mayroon man magsabi na ito meron, baka maayos ito. And they go there and plunge into it. Ako, on my oath, kayong mga gago dyan na making inferences, never knew about it. I never knew about it. And nobody told me until now. Yan, binabasa ko lang sa ano. ayaw ko magtanong. Pero kung sabihin ko na, nabi ko lang, shut up. You destroy the careers of military men. It's not easy as that. Dumating yan sila dyan, bakbakan, ilang beses yan, nasugatan, malapit mamatay, tapos magkaganong gusto lang nila mabuhay. Huwag mo akong, I hope you won't force my hand into it. We're friends, kilala tayo, I respect the separation of powers, and that you have the right to conduct congressional investigations in aid of legislation. Tell me now, what aid that you can legislate when there is no goddamn vaccine until now? Sabi mo na nga, about the only reason that you can really investigate is in aid of legislation. So what is there in a legislation that you can make that has something to do with vaccine? You cannot legislate vaccine and then you put the guy in a situation na pati yung career niya masisira. I won't allow it. Because that is unfair. I hope that we understand each other. Ayaw ko talaga ng, I am not the grandstanding type na mag, but do not, I said, force me to do something which is not good. Kung gusto ninyo ng gulo, sige. I think now I will tell Durante, he's there. Durante, do not obey the summons. I am ordering you to stay put in the barrack. Medyo klaro naman siguro yan. Dito tayo sa alam mo yung sinasabi nila na in-inject raw. It's being used in Egypt, UAE, the United Emirates, and Dubai. Karamihan mga Pilipino doon, yun ang gamit. Ano ang brand? Milkmaid. We come now to the status PhilHealth. There is a move to increase the contribution ng mga members. At this time of our life, may I just suggest to the PhilHealth chairman, si Dante Giran, at yung si lahat na, isang tao lang kailangan ko sabihan dyan. Huwag muna ngayon. No increase in contributions. I will look for the money to fill it up. Maghanap tayo ng pera. Anyway, that is the job of the government to make it easy for everybody at this time. I saved our lives. Inabutan tayo nito, which was once in every century lang siguro to. Hindi pa nga. Now, there are reports that some people are skipping na nakakalusot sila with the help of airport personnel at sa mga barko. I say this now, as I have said it before, do not do it. Kasi mayayari talaga kayo. You do it by allowing unauthorized travel when all of us are really worried of containing the contamination na control in and out. Almost every country now are controlling the entry and the departure of their citizens. Hindi lang tayo. Mga Pilipino, hindi lang tayo. So, do not go into this rigmarole of, magsabi ka doon, tapos na, ganun. You bring your fake certificate. Yan talaga ang maghanap kayo ng gulo. At yung mga taga-airport, alam mo, hindi ba ninyo nahalata na lahat ng immigration personnel dyan, but 42 of them, at marami pang iba ang na-dismiss sa trabaho. Gusto ninyo ulitin ko yan? This can only happen with the not even cooperation, but with the handiwork of maybe a few, not all, people in the airports, making it easy for somebody to travel, to skip the swabbing and everything. Sino bang may gusto nito? Ako talaga, every time na kinukulikot yung ilong ko, nagmumura ako kasi masakit. I have to open my mouth wide. Pero may bago daw, sabi naman ito ni Gordon, na ang swabbing sa saliva is 99%. O di, yan ang gagamitin natin. There's another thing. Itong incoming passengers, papasok sa Pilipinas, galing foreign countries, quarantine talaga, mandatory 14 days. Lahat ng countries dito sa mundong ito, yan ang ginagawa. Kasi ito is to safeguard. So, pag may pumasok isa dito, isa lang. Look, kayong mga taga-health dyan, mga taga-quarantine, pagka may na huli lang ako na isa, lahat kayo, palitan ko. I will assign you to the provinces and I will get the new ones from the other assigned in other cities also. Pagpalit kayo. Just I'm just one incident. Tapos kayong lahat. Hindi na bali sa akin kung ikaw o hindi. I do not care if kasali ka dyan sa hindi. Kasi racket yan eh. If you want to be assigned in Zamboanga, Samar, Masbate, I will be the one. Just like dito sa DPWH. I requested Secretary Villar na magbalasa and to submit to me the persons assigned to other places, and I will review it, and I will maybe reconfigure magtingin ako ng magtanong-tanong ako kung itong na regional kagaya nito ni Secretary Villar, you might want to hear this. Mayaman na yan. Sabihin mo sa kanya mag-resign na. She's kung saan niya na-assign, sigurado. At kung ayaw pa ninyong like you to give you the list of personnel dismissed from service. Mederico Villablanca, BIR, dismissed. Hindi ko na sabihin, alam mo na kung ano nitong makasalanan nito. Basta BIR, alam mo na. Hindi na kailangan. Virgilio Samle, Alexander Fuentes, Samuel Discartin, Dinyo Rojas, Lourdes Agaw, Rolando Aquilan, Eduardo Dennis Eloha, Isabelo Gonzales, Arlene Manangan, Alexander Monggot sa BIR, ito, hindi na sa BIR, sa DAR, back person. May pending may pending kaso. May isang kaso pa. Filimon Pantaleon, Josephine Bautista, Mary Magdalene, Sus Mariusep, ang Esperancilia, Lupito Clemente, Gilo Anthony Paca. Mo kung mala na. Susma. Nathaniel Chavez, Nasir Disalungan, Hermi Kanda, ito sila sa barangay Department of Education, Hermi Kanda, Badyangan High School, Rona Salarda Quintero, Municipality of Biliran, Corazon Hervasio, Municipality of Alogisan, Cebu, Christopher Perez Brigoli. Sa Tagbilaran is Christine Ipanag. Itong sa si Christopher BIR. Itong Servasio Revenue Collection. Tingnan natin kung marami pa. Basahin natin para ayaw talaga ninyo. Sinabi ko na. Ma'am, ano nga nito? Wala akong kuko. Isang Janet Chaplon, Barangay Lanag, Santa Barbara, Iloilo. Barangay teacher. Grave dishonesty, grave misconduct. Sa sunod yung madagdag. Itong sa BIR also, like to request Attorney Dulay sa BIR, magbalasa ka, magbalasa ka ng tao, tapos ibigay mo sa akin ang listahan. And I will review if it would promote the service of these people to the country. Now, sandali ha. Maraming trabaho talaga doon. Well, that's for this is the reshuffling of BIR. Yung si Attorney Dulay is I know him is a friend. Bill, i-reshuffle mo. Tsaka yung medyo man nagkaroon na ng reputasyon, huwag mo nang bigyan ng assignment, sa office mo na lang. I request all directors in all departments na kung may mga nagdudahan kayo, para hindi kayo madamay, the directors, I would ask you to relieve of that employee and assign mo sa opisina mo. I-freeze mo na lang if we cannot stop them from itong paputok. Hindi ako, medyo nakukurnihan kasi ako, but I always make Davao as a reference. Ganito yan eh. By the time of Colonel Conrad Lasa, he's now retired, is residing somewhere in South Davao, Davao del Sur. Siya yung sinabi ko noon when I started to toy with the idea of really prohibiting fireworks and everything. Sabi ko, kaya mo ba ito hintuin? Sabi niya, Mayor, pag inutusan mo ako, gagawin ko. So, there was an appeal by him and me that ideally we should not be playing with firecrackers and explosives because it is deleterious to the health of the people. First implementation niya, meron, hindi lahat. Especially yung hindi taga Davao. And for our brother Moro vendors na hindi rin alam mag-ano dito. So, more or less, sabi ko sa kanya, just yung kung maniwala lang. But I was making an appeal to the public, to the Davaoenos, that it will be to their advantage if we avoid totally. On the second year of the implementation, Davao was quiet. And last, this year's awa rin ako sa mga bata kasi makikita nila doon sa mga TV yung fireworks. But Davao was really very silent. Just like para tuloy ng Biyernes Santo. Ngayon, ganito na lang. So as not to deprive the Bukawi residents of their livelihood, I will only allow, kung maabutan pa ako ng Pasko uli, I only allow firecrackers and everything to be done by government. And it would be the mayor himself and the chief of police who should do this. Yung fireworks sa community para makita ng mga tao with all the safe distances, lahat na social distancing doon sa pulbura, sa putukan. And it would behoove on the mayor to see to it that everything or everybody and everything is in place and everybody is safe. Diyan lang ako papayag. Only government. So kayong mga taga-Bukawi ganito, kung ang local governments para sa New Year and Pasko, o hindi Pasko, New Year lang, ipagbili na lang ninyo sa lahat ng local government units. Marami yan, kikita kayo. Kasi bibili lahat. But sell it only to the police. Ang police ang magbili, sabihin niya sa mayor, Mayor, may nabili ako dito. Ganitong so much volume of firecrackers. Kung gusto nilang maganda na presentation, okay lang. So as long as it will not explode the entire Philippines, okay lang. I leave it to the mayor and to the chief of police to see to it that I said the presentation for the firecrackers shall be on New Year only and at the with the supervision of the mayor and the control of the chief of police. Siya lang. Ngayon, yung mga taga-Bukawi, kung makapagbili kayo ng marami doon sa iba't ibang probinsya at syudad, and everybody would be interested really because that is what the community wants, a boisterous and yung gusto ng putok-putokan, will only allow it when it is done by government. Yun na lang ang mag-compromise tayo. Sa Davao, I'm sure that the mayor there would insist on a complete. So, hindi ko napilitin yung mga syudad na ayaw ng magpaputok, just like Davao. But for those really who cannot help it, either because they want to make their constituents happy and the mayor itself is predisposed to noise and a boisterous welcome New Year, yan na lang ang gawin ninyo. Wala na magpabili sa private. Gobyerno na lang. At gobyerno lang ang pwedeng magpaputok. That is my... Para hindi kayo mawalaan ng hanap buhay. You don't lose the business. And... so enjoy also the New Year by makikita mo yung produkto mo pumuputok. Pero everybody is put on notice that it must be safe. So, ang mayor lang pati chief of police ang pwede. Alam mo, sa totoo lang, let me just, ang isang syudad, pag ayaw ng mayor na sugal, ayaw ng mayor ng inuman na sa daan, using the public alleys and yung sidewalk dyan kayo mag-inuman. Pag ayaw ng mayor ng lahat na gano'n na makapabuti, kung gusto ng mayor lahat gawin niya yung mapakapabuti ng syudad niya, hayaan mo siya. I am sure when I say that, you can do it only with the participation or only with the government doing it. I'm sure that there are mayors now who have evinced a desire not to. So, continue with this paputok. Gusto nila tapos na rin. So, let us respect that decision of the mayor. Sila yung hari dyan sa local government. So, yun ang ano ko. That is my sense. And kayo mga taga-Bukawi, kontakin na ninyong lahat ng mga local governments ngayon. Kayo ang mag-supply. But in the transport of itong mga fireworks, pulbura yan, again, you have to go to the police. You have to honor kung anong sabihin ng police na in the matter of the transporting the Bukawi yan eh. Or you can do it in other cities, i-transfer na lang ninyo yung ano ninyo. Or you can go to maybe to the place where the mayor would allow it and establish your whatever factory ninyo, basta malayo lang sa. It all depends actually on the mayor. Pag anong gusto ng mayor sa syudad niya, pag sinabi niyang ayaw niya, as long as it is legal and lawful, pag sinabi ng mayor ayaw niya, talagang yan ang susunod. Pag sinabi na niya sa chief of police na yan gawin mo, ayaw ko nang mag-inuman, ayaw ko yung gambling na hantak-hantak dyan. Pag sinabi na the chief of police is duty bound to do it because siya ang mayor ay may control sa law and order sa lugar niya. So it depends actually. Kung mayor ninyo medyo patamlay-tamlay, so kung ano naman stricto, di mas mabuti. Kunti lang ang sakit ng ulo. Now I'd like to hear from General Galvez report. This is ganito yan ha. Before ganito kasi sir. This is just all hypothetical. Sabi nito mga ugok na sabi ninyo una ang tao. Ang unang bakuna para sa tao, yung tinatrabaho ni General Galvez. Kung totoo man itong sa PSG, hindi ito para sa inyo. Kung ano man ang in-injection nila dyan, anti-malaria or anti-whatever, hindi ito kayo kasali nito. This is ako hindi ko alam eh. Alam ko tapos na. So, hindi ito para sa inyo. Huwag kayong mag-yaw-yaw dyan na akala ko ba. At even if talagang mauna talaga ang military. Ang military at ang pulis ang mauna. Kasi pag mawalaan tayo ng pulis pati military, out of control ang bayan. Una, kayo sabay sa military. Sabay-sabay kayo. Yung mga mahirap na nasa listahan ng we will follow the list provided by the DSWD. Ulit hindi ito para sa inyo na magyaw-yaw kayo na akala ba namin kami mauna. You shut up because General Galvez is working on it. We'll hear from it now.
Sir, Mr. President, Mayor, fellow cabinet members, mga kababayan, good evening. Para po sa gabing ito, ako po ay magbibigay ng ulat ng mga updates sa global status ng mga vaccine. Ito pong status nito, ito po yung mga tinatawag na nabigyan ng mga emergency use authorization para malaman po natin mga kababayan na ang kinukuha po natin, inuuna po natin itong mga vaccine na to para maging safe at saka effective na ipapabakuna po natin sa ating mga tao, lalo na po sa mahihirap at sa ating mga frontliners. Sa makita po natin sa coronavirus tracker, meron po tayong more or less 100 po na bakuna na tinitingnan. 44 po ang nasa phase 1, 20 ang nasa phase 2, 19 ang nasa phase 3, at yung 6 po may limited authorization na po, at meron po tayong 3 na approved sa stringent authority. I-discuss po ito, Mayor, para po maintindihan ng mga tao. Next slide, please. Kung makita po natin sa vaccine timelines, nandito na po ngayon tayo sa January. Kung makita po natin, nagsimula po ang mga clinical trials ng June at saka July. Nakita po natin na yung Sinovac, Sinopharm, AstraZeneca at saka yung Pfizer, yan ang mga nangungunang nagkaroon ng mga phase 3 clinical trial. At nakikita po natin na ang Sinovac at saka yung Sinopharm ay nabigyan po sila ng EUA or yung emergency use for limited use. Katulad po ng Sinovac, limited use for tinatawag nating elderly at saka tinatawag nating yung vulnerable sector. Yung sinasabi nga niyo po, mahal na Presidente, yung kansino ay inilaan po yan para sa military. Ang kanyang limited use is for the military. At ang Sinopharm ay para po sa general use. At nakikita po natin, ang nagkaroon ng stringent regulatory authorization sa US at sa UK ay yung Pfizer. Pangalawa po ang Moderna at sumunod po ang AstraZeneca. Pero ito po, last January, para mawala ang ating misconception sa mga Chinese vaccine. Noong last January po, ang China po ay nag-approve ng EUA of Sinopharm for general use. Dalawa po kasi ang ginagawa po ng China. Yung tinatawag nating emergency authorization for limited use at saka po meron tayong emergency utilization for general use. Ang Sinopharm po, pumasa na po sa limited use at saka sa general use.
Well, your office can give an authority for emergency use. Did you hear me, Attorney Domingo?
Sorry po, I did not hear you, Opo.
Pwede ka ba magbigay ng emergency clearance for the use of vaccines in the Philippines?
Sir, for if it's going to be a smaller group po, for example po yung PSG, and of course priority naman po talaga nila na kayo ay protectionan, then we can give po compassionate special permit for this. Kasi maliit lang naman po yun, and then a hospital can take care of it, and a doctor can administer them safely, and of the people who will be vaccinated. So for small quantities, kahit po wala pang EUA, we can do special permits for that. There's a way po to naintindihan naman po natin yung importance po ng what they do, and there's a safe way to do it if kung gusto po nilang gawin.
So kung wala nang iba, if there's nobody who would like to talk, wala nang idagdag, we will end this meeting. And I say maraming salamat sa inyo lahat.
Para ihayag ang pinakahuling kalagayan ng COVID-19 crisis sa bansa at ang mga hakbang na ginagawa ng pamahalaan laban sa pandemya, mula sa Pangulo ng Republika ng Pilipinas, Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Ito ang Talk to the People on COVID-19.